Hey guys, Addict Cyclist here with a important update for Factor Ostro owners and individuals looking to purchase a Factor Ostro. Before we dive in here, I ask you to please consider subscribing, help support and grow the channel. Keeps me excited, keeps me motivated, and just looking forward to getting this bike ridden more once the spring season comes here in the Northeast United States. So, why this special announcement? So I've been obviously a huge advocate for this bike, and I've been sharing the content obviously through my vlog series, through a series of videos about the wheels, about what I think about the frame, comparing it to my other bikes, and something keeps coming up over and over again, especially with some of my friends locally that have purchased this bike. So obviously when you purchase this or build this bike online on the Factor website, it is typically spec'd with 45mm depth wheels. So a lot of Factor owners who own the Ostro, just reviewing the Facebook owners group, obviously go with 60s. They've been going with the 45s. I've seen a couple 5s with the 5-spoke. I haven't seen anything more shallow than the 45s, but something very important to know. So all three of my friends have asked Factor directly, hey, what wheel should I go with? Obviously, traditionally, the mindset is the deeper the wheel, the more aero, right? Yes. On any occasion, maybe, maybe not. So here's what we have basically gotten from Factor 3 separate times with 3 separate voicemails and WhatsApp audio mails to confirm. So the Ostro was basically designed around the 45mm all-arounder depth rim. So, and what I mean by that is if you ask Factor, they're going to continue to recommend the 45 wheel based on the fact on the profile of the 45 wheel. Has a slightly different profile. It's actually, I think it's 2mm more narrow than the 60 wheels. But the important thing to note, and the information that we've got from a representative at Factor, is they built the 45 profile and depth around the wide stance fork. So if you're new to Factor or not familiar with the wide stance fork, you can see how wide this fork is. It's massive. And then inside this fork, you will find an indentation here, which is called the Energizing Channel. So the reps at Factor stated that the 45 wheel, with the way that the airflow hits the wheel and then hits the fork, that it was designed for a smoother transition of air to the fork and then obviously to the down tube versus a 60 wheel. So I chose 60s because I'm basically here in the United States in a flat section of New Jersey, basically in the Pine Barrens. And, I've always ran deep wheel. So benefits of the deeper wheel, in this case, comparing the 60 to the 45. And just to have some clarity, is that the 60 wheel is actually 56mm. It's not a full 60. So something you can read about in the spec on the website. But it's a little wider. So it supports the tire. I run 25mm with tires, and even if you go 28, the seamless angle and cradle that the 60 makes on a 25 or 28 will be a little bit better than the 45 on a more narrow rim. But the benefit of a 60 would obviously be it does probably carry speed better overall, and it also carries momentum, obviously, because there's a little bit more weight when you're riding. That unsprung weight obviously will cause maybe more of a slower spin up, but that additional rotating mass will carry speed better. So I guess the argument is, hey, is it more aero or is it faster comparing it to the 45? So if you're going to say that the 45 is more aero because of the way that the Factor Ostro VAM was designed, that's great. Yes, there's no doubt about it. But what about the aero benefits of a 60 wheel? or a deeper wheel, carrying speed, versus, kind of, complementing the aero profiles of the tube shape. So I guess it's really splitting hairs. I did have a email exchange with a factory representative who's been absolutely phenomenal, and in supporting me and some of the questions I had and some of the items that I purchased. And he did reiterate that that it is true that the 45 was built in conjunction with this Ostro. And I also recommended them to maybe updating their website to kind of state that, because there's been a lot of back and forth, and people obviously choosing one wheel over the other, and it might not have changed the decision, but it's important for people to know that they've basically built this frame using that 45 depth wheel and slightly different profile. So yeah, just wanted to share this. This is news, and all three of my friends have gotten the same response from Factor. One out of the three decided to go with the 60s, just based on looks. Obviously, deeper wheels on this aero silhouette of a frame does look a little bit more aggressive and more racy. We can negate again the aero benefits versus the holding speed benefits of a deeper wheel, but either way, you still win. Listen, these are phenomenal wheels. The quality of the wheels, the quality of the frame, nobody wins, nobody loses here. It comes down to preference, and it comes down to looks, and again, aero, if you're looking for that package. But again, it's all relative, and I think at this point you're kind of splitting hairs. But I wanted to touch on that because maybe this, or maybe you don't, or if you're new to Factor, or if you are looking at Factor, those are things to consider when you place your order online. So please, obviously you can fact check and you can confirm this information I'm sharing with you, and you'll find the same information here. So I just wanted to share this update. Like I said, it's new to me. I wouldn't have found this out unless my three friends locally have all purchased and ordered the same frame set, same colorway, except they chose the SRAM Force build. So that basically brings it to an end, and I would urge some comments, some questions, some dialogue. It will definitely help some of the viewers and subscribers and potential purchasers of this bike learn more about it, and some feedback you might have. So I really appreciate the views, appreciate the support. I urge you to please go back in the video library. You'll find a lot more information, content about certain bikes, styles, gear reviews, a 4-part series on kind of building this bike and why I chose it, comparing it to other bikes. And yeah, I really appreciate the support and hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Be well.